All right, good afternoon, cyber traders. Allow me to share my screen first inside our live trading room, though. But great to see Dan and great to see Jeff, Lawrence, Leda, and David, and all of us just joining us here live right now. Sorry for being late to the party. I'd actually made the announcement just before we started here that I'd be about 5 minutes late. But on top of all of that, well, my internet ended up coming out, had to reboot, had to reset, and finally now I'm going to share my screen inside our live trading room. For all of us on social, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. You folks go first. I knew I was going to be good to go inside our live trading room here now, though. So for Kath and Dan and Leda and Phil and Ravina and all of us just joining us right now, you folks should be able to see my screen. So just give me the confirmation on that, and then we'll be good to go from there. Should have the stock on or the screen on RXRX, right? Cursor waving back and forth. Got yes from Carol, which means I'm good to go, I assume, from Wendy and Jeff Ron. All right, perfect. I'll wear my necklace of garlic. We'll be good to go. So with that, RXRX right now, it looks like this trade is pretty much done with here for the meantime. Ended up making a nice pop in pre-market and pulled back afterwards when the market had opened up. Made a second win type of move here, really, I guess, but that's all there is to it. Ended up having a tough time at 1250. There could have been the chance for a breakout over 1250. From there, failed though. And now at this point, it's just kind of flat. It's already made such a big move already. Let me actually flip this monthly back to a daily, because for as much as the stock pumped up, you'd assume for this to begin to sell off or continue to over time. Actually, speaking of selling off, looks like the markets are making a slight little pullback here, looking at the SPY graph on the 5-minute. So for right now, I feel like the run is done on this RXRX trade. But, really just to expedite time here, folks, I was a little late to begin with here. Let's just go right from top to bottom here and see what else we can get. See what we can get, really. HCTI. I know this was more of a gamble type of stock early in the morning. I mean, hey, it showed a lot of activity early in the pre-market hours. So, with good reason, you were focused on it at the open. From there, it popped. But, I mean, hey, the volume died off pretty quickly on this trade. We always say it, when the volume dies off, oftentimes at least, so does the stock. So that's what's going to happen on RXRX next, and it happened first here on the HCTI. It already happened here on PTP high. It already happened on a lot of different trades here you could see here at this point. So we'll just kind of pick through them here. We had one before this, NFTG. I know Rich had called this out before, posted the news. How can we not post the news? It had popped up and got halted on the way up, but I even wrote to him right away. I'm like, it's going to be a pop and drop stock. And what happened? So, at that point now, at this point, we're just going to pass. All right. What else we got here? ELOX trying to go back up again. ELOX had a big move back yesterday, and, it took a little while to get the gears going on this train again, but ended up pushing up once more across the late morning, early afternoon, moving back up towards 10 at least. You'd expect 10 to be a major resistance on this trade. So not fully sold on continuation right away, but if I need to come back to this trade, I will. All right, so post CPI, I mean, really at this point, hey, maybe the markets do hold and continue to trend upward, even after this slight little shake here. If that were to be the case, then there could be some good sideless stocks to work with. Not RXRX, but GDRX. Definitely making a nice run here. Strong at the highs. Do have a bit of an iceberg too, so it goes to show a nice little resistance ahead. Good level to work off of there at 669. And all right, we got one on the board here. GDRX, going to put on our main watch list. I always feel like bad whenever I don't have anything to begin. We go like halfway through the gainer side or even onto the loser side without a single stock. This Carvana trade, for the volatility's sake, if you did well on this trade consistently, or just in general, if you did well on this trade earlier, and on top of that, even if you didn't catch it earlier, if you do well on the stock consistently, you know who you are. Felix, big shout out to him actually on the short. Chuck, big shout out to him on the way up. Manuel, Elizabeth, John. I saw a bunch of us in and out of this trade. Even if it was on small money, small shares, if you are consistently making money on it, then I'm certain that you're more that's going to be following this trade heading into this close. It's a level 5 stock, though. So just look yourself in the mirror when you ask, like, hey, am I one of those traders? If the answer is no, and if it's like, I kind of just like following a faster move, Well, if you're not consistently profitable on it, it doesn't make sense for you to be trying to risk your money on it, right? We're not here to gamble. We're here to try and make money consistently. So, there's a reason why I say it like that. I'm not going to put this on our main watch list right now at this point, made such a big move up. It is easy to borrow on TradeStation, but again, if you did well in this trade earlier, and if you do well in the stock consistently, then I'm certain that you're going to be one to follow it. And there's no wrong in doing that if you're one of those traders. Let's keep it going, though. Let's see what else we got. That GDRX is definitely up like all of our alleys, let alone mine. And let's see. I mean, even this Cava trade, this is more of a swing at this point. New IPO that broke all-time highs once again the last couple of days. Order book's just very thin. So, it's gotten to the point where it's not really day trade. If you're swing trading it, if you're in from like 40s or so, you're killing it. Awesome. All right, so we hop over to the loser side here. BANL. I didn't see this. I honestly had no idea this was going on. I didn't check this out at all. So stock ended up making a crazy drop. Like it was after Fausto finished the meeting, so I didn't even realize this. Dropped from 5 down to 3 or 250 even. So cut half in price, and then actually squeezed right back on up right before the market even opened. That's wild. Look at that. Right before the market even opened, it made that move. Interesting. We're not going to trade it now. Just it's funny what you miss, right? And just as hyper focused as you are on the main watch list, or the stocks that we're calling out intermittently, there's a bunch of trades that just float under the radar. Stocks that might not even be tradable, but just like funky moves. Oh shoot, that even happened. All right, so Silk down over 27% here. Took a huge hit yesterday after the close into the morning here. Seemingly a great short. Another stock that perhaps if it was easy to borrow, Silk Road Medical. It's not the Silk Road I know. All right, so we're gonna squeeze we're gonna see if this can look to make a nice squeeze up higher, but it's just got a thin book. I would be very careful on this type of trade. I would not really look to follow this at first, but could be a good side list stock to work off of. All right, what else we got here? FRGE. I'm gonna pass on this too. Lucid dropped a lot more in the morning. This was like coming off news of like their EV deliveries, right? So actually huge drop off. It was a great short at first. I thought it was going to drop a little bit lower. I was on a coaching call with one of our students, and he was asking, hey, is it good timing for a bounce? At the time, I think Rivian started to go. I'll look at Rivian now, actually. I'm feeling, wow, happy I just turned to this. Rivian at the highs here. So GDRX, Rivian. There's stock number 2 on our main watch list there. Well, clearly now Lucid is not going with Rivian, right? I think that we could just tell now Lucid here is not moving with Rivian. Now, from earlier, I wanted it to, and I thought there was a chance it could. Clearly that didn't happen, but I wanted it to drop lower first. There was an iceberg at like 690. I was thinking it was going to like drop lower towards first today. Maybe check in with it tomorrow. End of the week. Good side list stock still. All right. So what else we got here, folks? Current time 2:48. Started late. And with that, I want to do with time. Oscar Health, not really going much of anywhere right now in the intraday. All right. So, hey, you let me know. If there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you want me to look at here, just type it in the chat board. Let me know. Pull up Nzinga Pro here pretty quickly just to see if there's anything moving, at least across the last few minutes. No real big pops or drops the last 5 minutes. That's okay. RETO, BLND, I don't know what those are. Maybe I'll look at them. Yeah, we'll look at a couple, I reckon. It doesn't look too good, though. We'll see. Yeah. When the chart's looking like that, you're at the bottom of the barrel. This MGOL, I reckon I had a historical line here from the last time we traded it. Kind of interesting. It held above here on the intraday chart just today, right now. MGOL is one that we're familiar with. It's got a spotty graph, though. It's not really that impressive. It's up a little bit, but I mean, I guess we don't have a big list. We only have 2 stocks on there so far. So this is where I need your help for all of us inside the live trading room. If there's anything that I missed or didn't look at here, type it in. Look at like a NEO here, which is at the high. It's not terrible. XPEV. NEO's looking better. Mara had a huge drop off earlier heading into the late morning. That was very disappointing. I wanted to see this blast over 18 run much higher. What's that lyric go? You can't always get what you want. Yeah, unfortunately ended up pulling back pretty hard. The AULT here is more of a gamble stock. It's like squeezing back up intermittently, making a secondary type of move. I'm not sold on it. I'm going to pass. All right, so what do we have here, folks? We got like a short list here. I'm looking at some other side list stocks here just in the meantime. GM, AMD from before, AI. Look at a Carnival Cruise Line from last couple of weeks. This actually seemingly a decent short, right off the lows. Sophie, Firm, all kind of messy here. Nothing really too much to write home about. Don't need to build up too big of a list, but I feel like with only 2 stocks, it's like, it's got to be something else, right? From GF asking GDRX again on that trade. Oh, so that one's on our main list. 660. We had the iceberg at 69. 16,000 shares that we were just talking about. I'll tell you what, we got to finish up this meeting. I'm getting my stocks mixed up here. RXRX, GDRX. Lita asking about Open. Open up over 9%, near 10%, and it's on the way up towards $5. Might seem like a slow-moving stock because the last 5 or 10 minutes it's been extremely flat. But we like to see a stock near the highs. It's level 1 or 2 trade. It's the type of day where I'd be more, get this Lita, open to putting a stock like Open on our watch list. Pen drop. All right, folks, let me know if there's anything else, though. Last call. That's as creative and as punny as I'll get later. Today's Wednesday. By Friday, I'm dead, so you can't really get me for the Friday riddle. NFTG trying to make a bounce back up. I just caught this on Benzinga before we close out here. Hey, it doesn't have a terrible order book right now. It seems like, if it could fill in more, that'd be even better. I'll put this one too on our main list for right now, just in hopes of this building higher lows. All right, so we got 4 stocks right now at this point, folks. Hey, GDRX and Rivian look the best. Open too, but Open's a little slow, so hopefully that gains more steam. But I'd really focus on those top 2, GDRX and the Rivian to begin. And then the others as well, see if those other 2 can make a nice push over the next 10, 15 minutes as Rich jumps on the mic. But start and stick with this list. I just went through it all. If there's really nothing, or if there's anything else that makes an extraordinary pop in the next few minutes, then you certainly know to watch it. But if it's not making that type of pop, then start with what we got here. It's definitely your best opportunity to follow a runner heading into the market close, at least as of now. For all of us otherwise, I'm Social. If you're interested in joining us inside our live trading room, hey, if you're fancy with the phone, scan the QR code right there on the screen just to get access to our live trading room. Otherwise, you can go right down to the link on the banner as it's scrolling on the bottom below. Just type it in on your internet browser there. Get yourself set up for a week-long trial inside our live trading room. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you there. And from Michael, Grant, Jith, Yehuda, Carol, Lita, Kathleen, and all of us there live right now, hey, best of luck trading, folks. I'll be in the chat board up until 3:30. Lita asking at the horn, at the buzzer. Went in the net, so we'll count it. Beyond Meat. Ooh, big pop. Really big pop, Lita. What the heck? Okay, I guess I do see it on Benzinga just right here, number 2, right under the NFTG. I was looking at this column, so I was like, oh, NFTG up a little bit more percentage-wise. This was sneaking up behind us there. So great call. Really, 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 really good call from Lita on Beyond Meat. This is the type of extraordinary pop that we would have said okay on, right? So bingo. At the top we go, Beyond Meat. All right, great call, Lita, folks. Hey, best of luck trading. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.